Hi Charlie, so Albion when we're playing at the Amex, what does that mean to you?
It's difficult to put into words, to be honest. It's something I think personally I've always dreamed of since this stadium was built. I mean, we already had the luxury of playing at the Withdean, which was massive, because we was the only team at the time I think that played on the same pitch as the men. But obviously the men then upgraded here, and it was something the girls dreamed of being able to play on. So for this day to come now, it can't come soon enough.
Do you remember hearing the news and what your reaction was?
I remember it kind of being spoken about and being in the pipeline, but when it got finalised, I think I remember feeling quite nervous actually straight away, because I didn't think it would be something that maybe I would get a chance to do. But now that it's all ready to go and we're setting up for it, I can't wait.
You mentioned there about Withdean days. Give us a little idea of your history with the club.
Personally, I loved playing at Withdean. I signed here with the centre when I was 14, moved into the women's side at 16. And yeah, Withdean, I loved it. I can't knock it at all, but when you see the facilities here and all the differences now, it's moved up, it's moved upwards, and that's what we want to do. We want to move up and we want to be with it and go with it. But yeah, I can't knock the first days when I was here. I loved it. It was it's what's made me who I am, really.
You're sort of blazing a trail for generations coming through now. Can you give us an idea of sort of what you've been through in the last sort of 10 or 11 years, your progress?
Loads of change. There's been loads of change from managers, people in charge of the women's setup, and now being integrated with the men's side. We've always had a little bit of a link from when I was younger. We weren't completely isolated, but it's definitely become stronger. I would class us as around the training ground when we're there. We're as important. Obviously, the men are leading the way. That's just the way that it is, but we get a lot of recognition. We're really well looked after. But yeah, it's been loads and loads of change. So this past 2 years for me personally have been the most stable that it has been, from manager, players, team, people in charge. And I think that we're proving that that's something that we've needed, because yeah, we're playing a lot better football, we're getting better results, and it's exciting.
How's the season going? Are you happy with it as a team so far?
The start of the season was fantastic. I don't think anyone could have asked for more, to be honest. The last few weeks have been a bit more of a struggle. We've had to face our first 2 losses, and we've picked up a draw, which is good off the back of 2 losses. But you know, that's what happens. That's football. You've got to pick yourself up and get on with it. And we're just excited now to get back out there every weekend and prove to everyone what we're about. Everyone can have a blip. So
it's a very competitive division. I think you have to come top, don't you, to have a chance of going up. So not much room for error, I guess.
It's really tight, to be honest. I think that the way that it is difficult. But you know, if you want to be up there, you've got to compete and prove that you're the best. So it swings and roundabouts. But yeah, you do have to win the league first to even be considered to be in the playoff to then get promoted. Last year, Portsmouth won the league, lost the playoff, so they've remained in the same league. So it can be absolutely brutal, you know, but that's what it's all about. You've got to take your chances when they're there, really.
Could you give some people may not be aware of the sort of commitment that you have to put in, because obviously you're all busy during the days, aren't you? Monday to Friday.
We've got a few students, so they're at uni or college, but most of us work full or part-time. So yeah, we're out working all day, and then we come and train 3 nights a week. We start at 7. We're meant to finish at 9. Depends if we get out what James wants us to get out on the training pitch. But you know, we know that when we turn up. So it's hard work and it's tiring, but we're all there to get the results that we were getting at the start of the season, and to enjoy a successful season, which last year James gave us. You know, we missed out narrowly, which was heartbreaking. We don't want that to happen again this season. So the commitment has to be there. You have to work hard. You have to train hard if you want to be the best.
Do you share the Super League ambition yourself individually?
Absolutely, yeah. I think James has made us all aware that we're working for every weekend as opposed to the end goal, because we don't want to put too much pressure on ourselves, but we'd all be lying if we said that we haven't thought about what it would be like to be there, and that's where we want to be.
Because it's not just promotion from one division to another, is it? It's just a change of season. I guess some players might go full time. Is it a massive change from one?
Yeah, it's completely different. Like you say, the season's different. They don't play through the winter. They normally have their break, and normally there's a lot more money involved. So they like to help people go I don't know, part-time, full-time pros. That's something, that we have to aspire to, but it's not something that has to be the reason why we're involved, which is why we commit ourselves now, prove what sort of people we are and what we're about, and we're happy to do what we're doing at the moment.
What about your sort of footballing heroes or role models as growing up? Would they have been men's players or players from the women's team?
If I'm honest, growing up didn't really know too much about the women's side. Wasn't publicised like it is now. Wasn't out there, and we growing up, I got involved from playing with the boys' team at school and stuff. It was always very male dominated. So yeah, I watched Liverpool. That's my dad's team. I can't say that I'm a massive fan now, but yeah, it was always heavily male dominated. So it's exciting to actually have female football role models out there, and maybe look at ourselves as doing that for the grassroots teams for the local area. The way it's changed has been amazing.
Do you come into contact with girls who are playing the game at all? And if so, are they looking at the England team and players from that team?
Yeah, so we have a centre of excellence that we don't train and stuff alongside them. We train a bit later because obviously they're younger, but if we're in passing with them, we're very friendly with each other. We say hello, we're all part of one club. And this season, we've been doing quite a lot of player appearances, so we've been going to different events, trying to get people involved, especially off the back of the World Cup. It's been a great response, so now's the time to capitalise on it, and I think if we can keep the participation levels growing and we can be a part of that, who knows where women's football can go.
What thoughts do you have on the Charlton game? What are you expecting?
A tough game, definitely a tough game. Charlton are always a hard game, but we need to focus on what we can do. Not just try to be relaxed and not get carried away with the fact that we're here. And I think just play the football that we normally play, that we played at the start of the season, be confident in ourselves and each other. And I think it could be a really good game.
And obviously the two clubs meet on the Saturday at men's game. Will you be coming to that or staying away? Have you got any plans?
We haven't actually spoken about it. We do have the opportunity to have tickets to come to the games. Maybe that's something that we should discuss. It's not been a topic of conversation, but I'm not sure. I think some people will be a bit superstitious. We have quite a few superstitious girls in the team, so but one for discussion, definitely.
But leading up to the Charlton game, you've got a few tough games coming up, starting with Cardiff at the weekend. Obviously, you sort of lost them a couple of weeks ago. This is your chance to get a bit of payback on them and get a win this time.
That's the plan. Yeah. It's already been said many times, but it's a must-win game. We don't like to put pressure on ourselves, but sometimes you've got to take the ball by the horns and say it how it is. And we need to win the game. We want to win the game, and we want to just get back to how we was playing at the start of the season, build a bit more confidence back in the team.
Like you mentioned, when you had such a good start to the season, after going on sort of a run of three games without a win, is it tough to pick yourself back up for the next game, or is it quite easy to sort of get motivated and think, right, this is the one we're going to win?
We're not like a team that thinks that we're invincible, So when we did lose the first game, it was tough to take, but sometimes it's difficult because we don't feel we warranted a loss by performance. I think that's the hardest thing to swallow. Like it's been said, we've lost a game on a free kick and a penalty. That's difficult to take, and if you actually watch the games, we do create a lot of chances. We just sometimes we lack in finishing them. So in terms of that, no, it's not difficult to pick yourselves up because we know that we've got the ability to sort it out, and we work hard. We train really, really hard in trying to build game plans depending on who we're playing and what we're doing, what we can change. And we're quite a close-knit group, so. Like I say, sometimes this happens, you just got to pick yourself up.
And you picked up on it a little bit earlier, obviously the amount of teams vying for that top spot in the South League this season is quite incredible. Obviously last season it was yourselves and Portsmouth battling it out, and now there's teams like Cardiff, Charlton, Coventry as well, all fighting for that one place. How much tougher does that make the division when you've got so many good sides, and what does it say about the progression of women's football that so many good sides have now come up through the ranks?
It speaks volumes, to be honest. I mean, last year Coventry were in the other league. They've come across. It's strengthened the league. It's made it tougher to play in. It's a competition now. Do you know what I mean? It's exciting to be involved in. And I think for people to watch us and to see that and follow us, they're more aware now of the struggles that we're having to face. It just makes it all more realistic, and it's better preparation, I think, for when we go Super League.
And playing at the Amex against Charlton, do you think, if there's obviously a big turnout which you're hoping for, is there that tendency that maybe the occasion can get the better of some players?
I think that's always there. It's something that we need to try and work together with, and make sure that it doesn't happen. You know, there's enough characters in the group to try and bring people back to reality, make people focus, and, you know, look at what our job is, because that's what we're here to do on the day. It will be amazing to have a big crowd. It's going to be an amazing experience to be here, but ultimately the job is the same as it is every other weekend, and that's to play the football that we play and pick up 3 points.
And like you're saying, you've been here since you were 14. In that time, what have you noticed in terms of the style of the changes in the women's game, and also in its popularity?
Huge changes. I feel like now we can talk about how we try and play football and what we're trying to get out on the pitch, you know, rather than watching the men's game and then sort of being classified as a group of girls kicking a ball around. You know, we have meaning to what we're doing. We have style. We train hard for it. I keep saying that, but it's true. That's all we do, is train hard. And, you know, we try and learn. We're learning what we're doing, and so we can carry it through and, you know, pick up the younger years as they come through. It doesn't always have to come from your manager. It doesn't always have to be about what James is doing. He implements what he wants, and we get it out.
And James has been here a couple of seasons now. What do you think he's brought to the side in his time here?
Success. We might not have won the league last year, but we've come from being a mediocre lower team to a contending team. People want to play for us, not just for the success, but we play football, and we play good football. Everybody enjoys it. It's just it's become a great team and a great club to play for, and I'm glad that I'm still here.
And finally, then, how would you sell the team in the build-up to the Charlton game? What would you say to any fans who are thinking of buying tickets or thinking of coming along? What would you say to them to get them down here at the Amex?
It will be a great day. It's we're making history, so come down and be involved, and we play some great football. So come and watch it. It'd be a shame if you missed out.
Thanks.
You've obviously been at the club for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
What's it been like seeing those changes? In terms of moving to the facility, you now have to train, even the ability to come and play that Charlton game here.
It's just been nice to be involved in a club that's given you an opportunity. You know, when I was younger, I was here because I love Brighton. I feel like I'm loyal to Brighton. You know, I would have stuck around through thick and thin, but they've developed and they've grown from the men's all the way through to the women and the younger years. And they want to provide opportunity to everybody, and I just think that is something that's what I'm about, you know. What's that like for you personally, though, going to be able to train at that facility 3 times a week? It's unbelievable. I think that for the girls as well, we have to make sure that everybody is aware that we don't take it for granted, not at all. We are very appreciative of what we get given and how we get looked after, because we are looked after. We might not get paid and all that sort of stuff, you know, but we're here because we love Brighton, and the opportunity that it's given us is next to none. I mean, I don't think you can look around at many other teams in our league and say that they get what we get. And for someone that's come from, you know, just playing because it was local and they loved it, to now actually maybe being able to produce something, progress from that, it's a dream come true, to be honest. You mentioned Liverpool. Did you have any heroes that you... Harry Kewell. Really? Don't like admitting that one, but I don't know why. Like, growing up, I didn't even play in the same position as him, but I just loved him. But then he left and it all went to pot for me, so I had to leave Liverpool behind. And talking about playing for the school and playing in the boys' team as well, what was that like growing up? Obviously, you didn't have the teams that you have now, or the interest in women's football. What was that like playing with the boys' team? Didn't really know any different, to be honest. It was competitive. It was good fun, and you know there was always that competition of, oh, she's a girl, she can't play, you know, and it was like, okay, well, we'll give it a go. Some of the boys really relished in it and thought it was great fun and, you know, something to boast about, and other people really didn't like it. I remember when I was younger, coincidentally, he's turned out to be my sister's boyfriend, but we used to play in the same team, and he used to get really angry because I always took his position. And he was never too keen on that. But, you know, it's what it's all about. And I think we separate the girls and the boys now, obviously. You have to do that through age and things. But when you, from a younger age, when you play together, it's more accepting. And boys are happy to play alongside the girls and vice versa. And I think that's the way it should be, because football's for all of us.
And you were the face of the Together campaign, the new kit launch.
Yeah.
You had much of a reaction to that from friends, family, locally? Did you get much of a reaction to that?
I've got a lot of stick, actually, yeah. So every time we come to the Amex, someone points it out, so that's quite embarrassing. But, you know, it's just another thing that Brighton have given the women an opportunity in.
You must be proud.
I am. I'm really, really
your
proud.
family must be really proud.
Yeah, they are. I mean, every time my dad drives past, he rings me and says he can see me on the side of the Amex. So it has made me really proud. And, you know, if that's what I take away after serving here for however many years, then I'm happy with that. But for the women's game in general, and just for Brighton, it just goes to show sort of where we're going and what sort of club we are. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Do you feel that you're changing attitudes as well to the game? It certainly feels that way.
I hope so. I mean, I don't know what more we can really try to do from, you know, the top tier of football, England down. England's World Cup campaign was phenomenal. And you look all around, if you actually take the time out to watch the women's game, there's some really good football out there. You've got to go and watch it. You've got to see it. You can't be one of these people that either turns away from it, turns their nose up at it or whatever. You know, don't listen to someone else's opinion. Go and watch it yourself first.